It's an action-packed quad meet here in John Cook Arena where Nebraska hosts Simpson, Greenville, and William & Mary. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Izzy Panetta here alongside All-American Zach Teeterman as we gear up for a big afternoon full of gymnastics. Zach, it's a big meet tonight, not a duel, not what we're used to, so there will be one team on each event in every rotation. Give us a bit of a shakedown on how today will go.
Yeah, Izzy, first of all, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today streaming on Big Ten Plus with you. In terms of the coaches poll, ladies and gentlemen, Nebraska is coming in as tonight's favorite. And then in order of the four teams will be Nebraska, Greenville University, William & Mary, and then Simpson College. Gymnastics is a sport that comes down to a single tenth, so it's really anyone's game tonight. It's as simple as one team having a bad day and one team having a good day. So I'm excited to see how things shake out and who comes out on top, Izzy.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time out, Nebraska did take the dub in their home opener against Penn State. So that was Big Ten play tonight, will not count towards their Big Ten record. So they can take a bit of a sigh of relief. They can mess around with lineups, maybe put guys in that haven't been in before. And it should be really exciting for them.
Yeah, Izzy, you'll see that tonight. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are planning on bringing on a few athletes who will be competing for the first time this season or even the first time ever. So very exciting to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Their warm-up period is just concluded, so it'll be Nebraska starting here on floor. Greenville will be on the P-bars. William & Mary, I believe, will be on rings, and Simpson. Oh, William & Mary will be on vault, excuse me, and Simpson will be on rings.
Yeah, first up here we have William & Mary on the vault. Let's see what he has. Well, they cut off the stream there, but he did a Yuchenko 1.5. It was a great vault. Well done by William & Mary, starting off their day strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about how that leadoff athlete on your team, looking at the replay here, they set the tone. Another look at Secra's vault.
Good form in the air there, Izzy, and just a little bit low on the landing, just a small hop back, but that's a great position to be in. A good routine to start off the competition.
Absolutely. Moving on to Max Auden here for the Huskers on floor.
A good 2.5 punch front layout, just a small hop there. On floor, we're really looking for solid form in the air and, of course, a good landing. That's the dismount, folks, and he sticks it. Max Auden bringing in an amazing routine to start off the day for the Cornhuskers.
Yes, great start there for the Huskers. Look at Max Auden. He's satisfied with it. Just cracked the floor lineup this year, and he's honestly, Zach, made an impact already.
Yeah, Max becoming a true veteran for the Cornhuskers. Started off his first 2 years only competing the high bar and is now taking on more events, so happy to see that for him.
Absolutely. Heading back to William & Mary on the vault. Stepping up for William & Mary, it's Nicholas Kosarikov.
Yeah, looking to get another good vault in here. They have a good start with their guy who started first. Let's see what he has in store for us. Good run down the vault runway. A cause full little step there. It was good overall, Izzy. That was a great vault, and they're off to a strong start.
Yeah, Ricky Pism, pardon me, Ricky Pism there for William & Mary. Just a little step back, like Zach mentioned on that dismount, but not a bad vault.
On vault, we're really looking for 3 portions of the vault. So it's called the pre-flight, and that'll be from the board into the table. You'll see them in the air, which is another portion where they will deduct on the vault. And then, of course, the landing. If he sticks it, they should be raising that green flag for him. Now on to P-bars for the Panthers. It's a good Makoots there. And the Healy twirl done well.
Very nice for Michael Avery. Bit of struggle there. Want to minimize those.
Front 1.25, done very well. Moving through this routine nicely. Into the dismount, just a small hop. He's stoked with that, Izzy. What a routine, and good way to start off for the Panthers.
Yeah, found that landing. Obviously, all you want to do is stay on your feet in a dismount and minimize deductions. If you make little errors, that's going to happen. But if you can find your landing and put it down, always a good end.
And there's that again, that beautiful dismount, a double front on the parallel bars.
Nico Greenlee stepping up to vault here for William and Mary. Been consistent in their lineups as he runs down the runway.
Oh, very good form in the air, Izzy. Just a step out of bounds there. That'll be a 1/10 neutral deduction. In men's gymnastics, if you step out of bounds, it's a 1/10 neutral deduction. If you step out with 2 feet, that would be a 3/10 deduction. Or if you land out of bounds, that is also a 3. So a good vault. He will incur that neutral deduction along with the step, but overall great third vault for William and Mary.
Yeah, just in that replay there, see Oscar Silverman stick his ring dismount, always a great feeling. Moving back onto floor, we have Rome Wimpy, who is making his Husker debut today here for the Huskers, Zach.
Yes, very excited to see Rome here today. The Nebraska Cornhuskers have a lot of nicknames for their gymnasts and told me that they actually call him the Barrel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure what that means, but I like it a lot, and let's see what he's got for us. A good opening pass as he moves on here into his second tumbling run. A lay full out, just a small hop and a step out of bounds, but he's going for it here. Back double layout with authority, just a small step, small hop forward there. He's doing well. He needs to minimize those landings, Izzy. It is a very bouncy floor, so he's going to get high up in the air. Just needs to really sit down with his knees into those sticks and absorb the landing.
Absolutely. Going into his non-acro here. Nicely done.
Back 2.5, punch front layout, done well. Just that small shuffle. He's going to move on into his non-acrobatic scale and into his dismount. Can he stick it, ladies and gentlemen? Just a little bit short there on the dismount. He does incur a 1-point deduction. It is his first time competing, and so he should still be happy with that routine, even though he had a fall there at the end.
Yeah, just a little under-rotated there towards his dismount. And honestly, floor is much like a marathon, not a sprint. You have to conserve your energy. Like you said, Rome is just a freshman, so he has a lot of time and room to grow. Just another look there.
You see he kind of leaned back there on the takeoff and probably didn't get enough height for where he was wanting to be, but a good stuck dismount there from the Panthers on that double front on the parallel bars.
Well, great dismount there from Greenville's Sergey Popov. Exactly what you want to see. His chest was very much upward. You will incur deductions if you have your chest down on landing, so great job there from Popov. Another look at a vault.
Luke Tolley with a Yuchenko double full. And just a step forward there, but very, very clean in the air, and he's not going to incur as many deductions in that pre-flight phase of the vault, guys.
Yeah, moving on to floor, Chase Mondi, who we talked about, massive for the Huskers on floor. So strong at this event. He's in the top 5 nationally. Zach, you had the pleasure to be his teammate for a year. What can you say about Chase Mondi?
Yes, Chase Mondi is a phenomenal person in and outside of the gym, and really just a powerhouse on the floor exercise in the vault as well. Last year at the NCAA championships, Chase brought home second place as a national runner-up on this event. So I expect great things from this routine and him this season. And really, Izzy, I think he's in the running to be back on that podium this year at the NCAA championships.
Absolutely, and I misspoke. He is in that top 20, but Chase absolutely can make a case for being in the top 5. He is the 2025 national runner-up on this event. As you mentioned, I expect to see him to be a contender for that Big Ten title and potentially the national title.
Back over here to P-bar, starting off with a peach half to a peach handstand, done very, very nicely. A little bit of a mistake there on that Makut skill. Needs to swing up to handstand. That will incur just a little bit of a deduction, but he's moving back into his routine here.
Yeah, Jackson Clapper actually 6th in the nation on this event, averaging a 13.68, which is a huge score. Dismount here.
Oh, and just the fall forward there.
Yeah, I just had a little bit too much rotation there on the dismount. I mean, you'd rather have more power than not enough, but unfortunate mistake there for Greenville.
Izzy, and falls happen in men's gymnastics, and you see Jackson just went back and cheered on his teammates even though he fell. It's really about keeping momentum even when there's a mistake, because mistakes happen in men's gymnastics. It's a crazy sport. It's very technical, and you only get one go at it. So I love that aspect of the sport, cheering on your teammates.
Absolutely. Brian Rollison's dismount that just happened here. Watch this. Great dismount. Bit of a hop back, but Simpson seems to be happy with that.
A great first rotation so far for all teams involved, and we're still waiting on Chase Mondi here on the floor, which I believe we'll cut to next.
Yeah, not a comfortable feeling when you're ready to go up and you haven't gotten the nod from the judges yet, Zach.
Yeah, in men's gymnastics, they call it icing the gymnast. It's not a good feeling being there. Nervous, a little bit of that adrenaline pumping, and really you just want to salute and get going and get it done. So.
Absolutely. You see Chase Mondi, they're just trying to keep moving, keep his body loose. You don't want to get too cold while you're waiting for the judges to tell you when to go. So, but he's a vet, stepping up, salutes the judges, and he'll start on floor for the Huskers.
Opening pass, a double front with a small hop forward. That's a great pass for Chase as he moves on into this second pass here. Huge double-double laid out. Just a small hop, but with authority, Chase Mondi. Third pass, a lay full in, done very nicely. Back double full. That is a very nice stuck pass there for Chase. Back 2.5, punch front layout. That looked like a stick to me,
So
Izzy, but it
good.
might be a 1/10 deduction, and he's moving on into his dismount. Can he stick it? And just a small hop and a hop there for Chase, but it's a great, great routine. The Husker fans are loving it. He's cheering them on, and just a good way to open up his day.
Absolutely. Another look back at Chase Mondi. Just look at his form in the air. So good. Trying to keep those knees together, a little bit of break, but very, very solid routine there from Chase Mondi.
Yeah, a little bit of that chest down on the landing, Izzy. That's going to incur likely at least a 1/10 deduction, if not a 3. So calculate that into his execution score.
Yeah. You can see going back to P-bars, William and Mary making the bars. Zach, this is something we talked about before the stream. Making the bars is a very, very important process when it comes to preparing the apparatus.
Yeah, Izzy. People use different things on the parallel bars. Myself, I always used honey. Some people will use corn syrup. And really what it boils down to is getting the best grip, and that's done using sugar. So any product that has sugar in it, such as Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, Gatorade, really I've seen everything and everything. So that's what you'll see there, and they're like a NASCAR pit crew.
Yes, they are. They really are.
And that's something I love about the sport is everyone works together to help their teammates compete to the best of their ability.
Yeah, absolutely. You see there, it is totally a team effort. A lot of people like to think of gymnastics, you know, it's an individual sport where you compete on a team, but really everyone does help each other out in different aspects. And you talk about that, Zach, obviously you're a former collegiate gymnast. Talk about the big team aspect, especially in college gym.
Yeah, gymnastics is an individual sport at heart. However, once you get into collegiate gymnastics, you have 20 guys who are opting for a 4-man lineup per event. And so everyone's competing to get into that lineup, but they all want you to do better, because if that 4-man lineup is the best athletes, that's how you're going to perform best as a team. So while it's an individual sport, it really is a team sport, and that's what I truly love about collegiate gymnastics on the men's side.
Here's Alex Nachachi stepping up next on floor for the Huskers. One of 3 Huskers out of Tennessee. And you'll see, this is very common in this sport, with there only being 15 active programs, you will see athletes from all over coast to coast. Zach, you're from Oregon, so you're all the way from the west. We've had athletes from Texas, from the east, like Alex here. So it's really cool to kind of see all of these athletes come from all over and represent their college team.
Alex opening up here on the floor. Let's see what he has for his first pass. A front double pike, just a small hop. That's a great opening pass for Alex. Lay full in, sticks the landing, no problem.
So good there from Alex Nachachi, very clean. It's one of those gymnasts you'll notice has beautiful lines when he tumbles.
It's a good side pass for Alex. The back 1.5, punch, front lay full. Back 2.5, punch, front layout, small hop forward as he moves on in through his routine. He's gonna perform a scale, a requirement on the floor exercise. I'd like to see that leg get just a little bit higher, but he might be a little bit tired this far into the routine. Going for his dismount. A full in and sticks the landing, Izzy.
So great there. Wave the green flag. That's right. Big stick to dismount for Alex Nachachi. He'll be real happy with that routine. Here's another look at that.
Just great form in the air, Izzy. Opens up, spots that landing. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are absolutely stoked for that. The fans are waving the green flags. Just a great dismount.
Yeah, you can hear Go Big Reds echoing here inside John Cook Arena. Always a good sign if you're a Husker fan. Great job there from Alex Nachachi. Chase Mondy's score flashing 13-7, a little bit lower than where he wants to be, but not a bad score at all on floor.
Izzy, that was a great first rotation for all 4 teams. Was there anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously good. You know, there were a couple mistakes here and there. Obviously, Nebraska does have to count that fall, so that'll hurt them. Waiting for these final scores to come in, but, you know, it is just the first rotation. Really, anything can happen. And like you mentioned, it's all dependent on who has a good day and who has a bad day. And you can really just throw the rankings out because at the end of the day, if you hit, you hit. So.
Yeah. We'll see them move forward, and a lot of these athletes, if they made a mistake in the first rotation, they will have to compose themselves and really get back into that mindset to compete in their next event. For example, Rome will compete on the vault later on today, and then the Panthers athletes as well. So very excited to see what they have and see how they can come back from maybe a smaller mistake.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, it does feel individual at heart, men's gymnastics, but it is a team sport. You have your teammates to lean on. You know, if you make a mistake, you know they got your back. It is more competitive now in this 4-up, 4-count format, so everything counts. But, you know, you're not competing in this alone. You have your teammates, and they have your back.
Yeah, like Izzy said, men's gymnastics is currently a 4-up, 4-count scenario. So each athlete only gets one go, and if they fall, there's no one up to back that up, and that is a counting score. So something to note, it has changed over time, and back in my day, I started at 6-up, 5-count, and then 5-up, 5-count, and now it's gone to 4-up, 4-count. So very, very competitive, and every routine counts, Izzy.
Absolutely. It's completely different, as you mentioned, Zach, from where we were just a couple of years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. Back in the day when it was 6-up, 5-count, I mean, these meets were longer. They had to count, you know, or had to see all 6 routines. So it was a little bit longer. Now meets are averaging about 2 hours, but what a big opening rotation for these 4 teams. We should see a lot more to come in the second, right here on Big Ten Plus. Welcome back into John Cook Arena at the Bob. Yeah, Zach, we spoke about in between the first and second rotation how scores looked. Give us a little breakdown about each team's scores and how they came out of that first.
Yeah, Nebraska Cornhuskers sitting at a 53.1, and then William and Mary at a 52.15. Simpson College at a 50.65 and the Panthers at a 49.6. Now, floor and vault are higher scoring events in men's gymnastics, so you would expect those scores to be higher. But really, there's not much variation there, and it's still anybody's game.
Absolutely. Max Auden will step up to the pommel horse for Nebraska.
We're looking for the hips to be well above the horse with the feet glued together and no leg bends. He's got a good circle started so far. Very important on the pommel horse to get a good start. A beautiful Roth there from Max. Into the Tong Fei, done well. Oh no.
Unfortunate fall there for Max Auden. You know, horse is a very unforgiving event. Once you lose your momentum or once you have a slip up, it is very difficult mentally and physically to get back into it. Here's another look at kind of where Max lost his momentum, just kind of fell off there.
It looked like his hand just slipped there on the horse, but as we go into vault here, a good cause full, a little bit of the pike down into the landing, but done well, and he should be happy with that. Max finishing up his pommel horse routine. You have to get back up in 30 seconds in men's gymnastics. He's not going to be too happy with that considering the fall, but he did what he could and finished up that routine nicely.
Yeah, when it comes down to just minimizing those errors, you know, if they're going to happen, you're not going to have a perfect routine every meet. So best you can do, take your 30, get up and finish your routine. Max did just that. Moving on to floor here for the Simpson Storm, or vault, excuse me, for the Simpson Storm. He salutes. We'll see. Sometimes you get a little iced out, as you mentioned, Zach, as you wait for the judges to give you the go-ahead.
Izzy, I don't know about you, but I really enjoy the goggles.
The Spec Rex.
Yes. One of the famed athletes from the Olympics, Steven Netarasic on the pommel horse, was big and famous for wearing goggles in the sport, and it looks like they're still in the sport today. I'd love to see that.
Absolutely, Zach. They're definitely still present. Former Husker Charlie Giles used to rock the Rex Specs on vault, so I'm getting kind of throwback vibes here, but Simpson gears up on vault. Let's see here. Let's see what vault he throws, hopefully aiming for a big block off the table.
A cause full, a good landing, a big step back, but overall done nicely. Good form in the air.
Yeah, there's Garrett Alexander. Big step back, like Zach said, that will probably incur about a 3/10 deduction. And remember, the judges aren't seeing this in slow motion or in replay like we are, so they're seeing it all in real time. And we're not judges, we're not experts, so we don't know where they'll take, but we can only assume.
Well, Izzy, I have been a certified judge. I judged last year. I'm not judging this year, but I have a little bit of knowledge, and I believe that would have been a 3/10 deduction for that step. But onto the parallel bars, a good Stutz handstand. Double pike, oh, and just a little bit short there on the landing.
Yeah, unfortunate fall there for Evan Wilkins. Just wasn't able to get around on the way. Here's another look at that dismount. Double pike, yeah, just.
It looked like he swung up well and just opened up a tad bit early. Folks back home, it's really as simple as that, just a millisecond opening too early, and instead of on your feet, you're on your hands and knees.
Absolutely. Ethan Cox here will step up for the Huskers. One of those 8 true freshmen that Chuck Jamelka and John Robinson brought on. They had to replace 4 true seniors and 4 fifth years last season. Zach, you being one of them.
Yes, Izzy, I did compete in my 5th year last year. Just an amazing experience and continues to shape me professionally to this day. A good start there on his scissor from Ethan. Looking to get a good swing with open hips here as he starts the routine. Into the single pommel work. Done nicely. Again with the sewn, a full circle on one hand. A good Tong Fei into that small Russian. Moving on into the woo, he's holding on to the horse. Up into the dismount, a little bit of press, and he makes it.
able to finish out that routine. Yeah, like Zach mentioned, just a little bit of struggle there, but you got to work with what you got, and Ethan did just that. Again, just a true freshman for the Huskers, showing a little bit of their youth. He did great for his collegiate debut.
Yeah, he showed a lot of fight there going into the dismount and as well on that Russian travel skill called the Woo. So a lot of fight out of the young freshman.
Big dismount there from Greenville. Watterson, just a tiny hop. Did hear the Simpson corral explode. I think here it is, a replay of this vault. If I'm correct, he stuck this cold.
Oh,
just a tiny hop. But a good vault, 2.5 there for Simpson. They'll be happy with that. That should score in the high 13s at minimum. Low 14s is probably where we're looking.
A great vault. On to P-bars here with William and Mary. Good Diamondov, small leg break. Double front, stomps it down, just a small hop. That's a great dismount.
Another look at that dismount. Does cowboy a little bit. Zach, if you want to explain to the fans back home what cowboying is.
Yeah, in men's gymnastics, you want to keep those legs together while you're flipping. You're allowed to have, oh, it's a good vault. You're allowed to have a little bit of leg separation when you're in a tuck up to your shoulder width, but anything above that's going to incur a deduction. So that is the cowboy that Izzy is referencing, and it does make it easier to flip the wider your legs are. So you'll see that happen often when someone is maybe not as high as they should be or really trying to get more rotation out of the flip.
Absolutely. We just saw Braxton Jones there for Simpson go perform his 2.5. He did have a big step forward, so that will incur a deduction, but he's been one of their main vaulters for the Simpson Storm. Next, it'll be Nico Greenlee up on P-bars for William and Mary. Judges give him the go-ahead, and he'll salute. Goes on the springboard to mount. You don't need a springboard, but some gymnasts prefer it. Is totally up to them. It's not a deduction at all.
Jumps right into that peach to Elsit, done nicely. It gives him a second to really compose himself as he moves into this routine. A giant, done well. Very, very sharp lines here. A small step, adjustment on the handstand, that will be a 2/10 deduction.
Oh no.
Oh, and just falls through the middle of the P-bars on a skill called the Peters. Now that's supposed to be swing hop to 1 bar, and it looked like he just missed his hand there as he fell through the middle.
Yeah, when you're moving to those 1-bar skills, obviously your difficulty increases, and with higher risk, there's, higher reward. But in this case, he did miss the bars there. Nico's still on the ground. Hopefully, with the coaches and trainer heading over to him, hopefully he's able to sit up and recover.
He will have 30 seconds once everyone checks and makes sure he's okay. That timer will start now as he gets up. So 30 seconds to get back up on the bars. He's going to have the opportunity to decide to repeat that skill or just move forward through the routine, but he has no credit for that skill so far.
Yeah, Zach, that's something you'll see, maybe even talk about. You'll see gymnasts stay down because once they stand up, their 30 starts. So you want to take your time. Nick Tarka here on horse.
Starting well, moving into his flop sequence on 1 pommel. And again, a little bit of a leg separation, but doing well into the Tong Fei. And the Roth, a little bit of leg separation. He's fighting hard to stay on the horse. Moving into that Savato and coming up for this dismount. You want to see him swing right up to the handstand. And he does, and travels down. They are going to be happy with that.
Yeah, great job there from Nick Tarka. One of those true freshmen.
Oh, just hyped up, Izzy.
Great, giving teammate Kaden Clinton a hug. Here's another look at his dismount. Was able to swing up there, get around. Great job there from Nick.
And you see in the back there, that was Nissen Emery Award winner Taylor Christopoulos. Good to see him in the big house today.
Absolutely. Fortunate fall there on the dismount for Nico Greenlee. Not his best routine on P-bars. Obviously not what the tribe wants to see, but they still have a couple more to lean on in their lineup, so they'll look towards them to hopefully put up bigger scores for the tribe. And see assistant coach John Robinson talking to his team. Always good to have them. Jacob Foster will step up for the Greenville Panthers. He'll be on high bar. Now, Zach, high bar is more your specialty, and it's called a party event. Talk a little bit about high bar and what this event entails.
Yeah, Izzy, during my time at Nebraska, I was fortunate to compete with very, very skilled high bar athletes, and we called it a high bar party. Starts off well there with a ginger. We're looking for high flying releases as well as good angles in the handstand. So pops it out there, just a little past handstand, but done nicely. That is called a quast, also done very nicely. Moving into his dismount tap. A triple backflip, it sticks, oh, just a small step.
Really fought for that stick. I know we wanted it, but he had the tiniest step back. Great routine there from Jacob Foster.
Just a massive, massive triple backflip off the high bar. We'll see this again here in slow motion. Look at the height. Wow.
Just so close, but great routine. Here's another look on P's. Dismount for Luke Tully. Just a couple steps back, not bad. Luke Tully. Zach, you have a relationship with Luke Tully, also from Oregon like yourself. Tell me a little about him as a gymnast.
Yes, Luke Tully is a phenomenal person as well as an athlete. I had the opportunity to train with him a little bit at my club, Omega Gymnastics, led by head coach Seth Smart, and excited to see what Luke has in store for us today as he does the all-around here. His little brother will actually be moving to William and Mary next year to compete, continuing on his legacy. So super exciting stuff from the Tully family.
Yeah, here's Nathan York finishing out his horse routine.
Wants to fly up there to the handstand, and he does. All the way down and back.
Nice.
Oh, and the crowd just erupts for the veteran Nathan York.
Great fight there from Nathan York. You can see here as he goes, look at the corral, look at the Nebraska corral, just looking to see him swing up to his dismount. Oh, so good. Puts it down. Great job there for the Huskers.
On those pommel dismounts, you want to see them travel all the way down the horse. That will be for a D value, and if they do it back again, he will get that E value credit. That will add to his difficulty value of the routine.
There's Taylor Christopoulos, who you brought up earlier, Zach Tiedemann, 2025 Nissen Emery winner, was a part of this Husker squad last year. He's been great for them to see, just around, have a presence, and learn from a veteran.
Yeah, truly one of the best humans I've ever met, inside and outside of the gym. He was, in my opinion, the best collegiate athlete to do it. Just incredible to see him here today and cheering on the Huskers.
Absolutely. Yeah, we wrap up the second rotation, head into the third, where the Huskers will head to Still Rings. It'll be a great, great afternoon right here on Big Ten Plus. Second rotation closing out here in the Bob Devaney Sports Center. As you can see, we'll have some previous scores from the rotation before. I mean, Nebraska put up some good scores there towards the end. They did have to count that fall from Max Auden, but overall, not a bad. Top performers here from the second rotation. Zach, take a look.
Yeah, Nathan York with that massive pommel horse routine, scoring a 14.0. That's a great routine out of the vet. Braxton Jones, a 13.8 on vault, done nicely. Nicholas on the parallel bars with an 11.8, and Michael Avery with a 12.8 on the horizontal bar. Overall, just a great second rotation. The leaderboard goes as so. Nebraska Cornhuskers leading the pack at a 106.55. Next, Simpson College with a 103.65. Greenville University 100.35, and William & Mary at a 97.7. So doing well, going on into this third rotation. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. William & Mary having a less than stellar rotation on P-bars. P-bars is, though, one of those harshly scored events. You know, there's a lot of errors for room for deduction, and when you do have those steps, if you walk on the P's, if you incur a fall, those are going to hurt you. So they're looking to go bigger on high bar, which is actually one of their better events. William & Mary not bad on this event. They're seventh in the country, which is the highest out of all six for them.
Yeah, they really need to get a good momentum building routine starting off on the high bar. that first person has probably the most important job to build that momentum, get the team hyped back up after that P-bar rotation.
Definitely. Nebraska will step up to the rings. Now, Nebraska, Zach, you remember, was a very strong ring program last season. They had 4 out of the 10 finalists in Big Ten finals for that specific event. You know, having to graduate most of their ring lineup has really taken a hit this year. They're 7th in the nation on a ring, so they're wanting to work up. This event is all about strength. What can you say about Asher Cohen there?
Asher Cohen is one of the cleanest gymnasts I've ever seen. He really prides himself on his form. The Nebraska coaching staff says he's the hardest worker in the gym, and you will see that happen as it comes through his routine.
Yeah, moving on to high bar here for William and Mary.
It sticks the landing exactly like I was saying. He's going to build the momentum for William and Mary there as they continue on through their day.
Great job there from Evan Secra. Just look, spotting the ground, able to put down his dismount. Great job.
Well done. That's going to build that momentum there, Izzy. The teammates who are up next are going to see that he performed well, and it builds confidence.
Absolutely. Ty Rodriguez, one of those true freshmen, leading off on rings for the Huskers. Going into his Yamawaki.
Connected to the back giant, front giant. Giant through to a double-double, small hop on the landing, done very nicely. It's a good routine, he's piped up.
Yeah, absolutely. Great there for Ty Rodriguez. So good to see freshmen up there on the floor competing. Great dismount there, small hop, he'll be happy with it.
And you can see Chris Heiser there, a retired Nebraska Cornhusker, helping out with the rings and really hyping up the guys, making sure the rings are well chalked, and just being a leader for them as well. It's good to see him out there.
Yeah, moving over into P's for the Simpson Storm.
Good giant there. Into the double front, keeps it on his feet. It's a good routine.
Yeah, good fight there from Eric Simon, second up for the Simpson Storm on this event. See how he follows up.
Simpson doing a very good job and could give Nebraska a run for their money. They need to stay on their toes, Nebraska, because Simpson really wants this one.
Absolutely. This is their weakest event, so they are looking to grow, but it is that mid-season point. There's still time before conference championships come. Moving back to floor for the Greenville Panthers. We'll see what the Panthers have to say in response to this. They aren't far behind in this meet, so hopefully they can make up some ground that they might have lost in the first and second rotations.
Yeah, before the meet, Izzy had the opportunity to speak with the head coach at Greenville. He stated that this is their 5th competition of the season, and in men's gymnastics, there's something called peaking at the right time. And what that means is really laying the grounds to do your best in the NCAA championships. So as they continue through their season, they want to see more and more hit routines, and I think they're going to do that today and then put themselves in a good position to peak at the NCAA championships.
Definitely. Greenville has been fighting to stay in that top 10. They just peaked on Gymnastics CGA's power rankings. They're at 9th, which is the highest they've been all season. They'll want to improve on that.
Great Azarian cross there by Jack Kritz, the senior from Nebraska. They nickname him the Meatball.
Yeah, they love their nicknames over there on the Nebraska Cornhusker squad. Evan Secra having a 12.85 there.
He's doing well, moves through the Yamawaki, connected to the front giant. He's got a very nice handstand line there, Izzy. You see the rings turned out, not much movement in the rings as he winds up for the dismount. A lay full in, just a small hop forward. That's a newer dismount for Jack, just done very well. He should be very happy with that routine.
Yeah, Zach and I actually spoke with Jack Kritz yesterday. He just added this dismount to his routine, so very new for him. Here's another look at that William and Mary dismount from Evan Wilkin.
And another stuck dismount by William and Mary. They're doing well on the high bar.
Ethan Poole here on floor for the Greenville Panthers. Good side pass there. He'll go into his scale element.
Want to see that foot lifted up above the head, done nicely. Moving into his next tumbling run here. Front double full, good landing. This wide arm press handstand will fulfill his non-acrobatic element group on the floor exercise. You want to see his head no further than a fist length from the floor. I think that was done beautifully.
That was very, very nice. Last pass here for Ethan Poole.
Can he stick it? And he does! And he does! He sticks the dismount. He's hyped up. Wow!
Great job there from Ethan Poole. You see him so psyched, high-fiving head coach Zach Peters. Awesome. He has a 13-1 season high on this event, hopefully hoping to surpass that mark. Great job.
No doubt in my mind he was going to stick that pass. You could see him in the third quarter of that second flip just kick out, spots the landing, and stomps that dismount.
Yeah, great job. The Panthers are real happy there in their corral. Always good. Honestly, when there's meets and you have to count falls, it helps to have a big routine like that to just kind of lift the spirits again.
Back onto P-bars here with the Simpson Storm. Studs handstand a little bit short of the handstand into that peach L. He has a second to breathe here and really focus on what is he going to do for his dismount. Good swing, double pike. Good dismount there. Just a small shuffle. Very nicely done.
Very nice. Able to put it down. There's another look at his dismount here. Chest was a tiny bit down, but higher than we like to see, so that's good. Look at them. They're hyped up. His teammates are happy for him. Great job there from Rabe.
There's really not a lot of feelings like that other than landing your dismount and seeing your team cheering you on and just through the moon for you and for your performance.
Yeah, you do it for your teammates at the end of the day. As much it is about individual accomplishment, it is so fulfilling to see that they got your back, and when you hit a big routine, there's nothing quite like it.
Anthony Copey up here on the still rings for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Anthony is, I believe, a 6-foot-tall gymnast. He is a very, very big man for the sport of men's gymnastics.
But yeah, they call him a tall boy.
You'll see he is very strong, though.
On high bar here for William and Mary.
Moving into that one-arm full spin, that's called a Zuliman. Into the Takamoto half. Beautiful flare there from the Stalder to the one-arm giant. I like the technique there. Double-double, small step back. Beautiful routine. I really enjoyed seeing that flare on the Stalder to one arm. It adds a little bit of personality in the gymnastics, and it's beautiful to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. You being a high bar specialist yourself, Zach, you have a lot of appreciation for those little things that individuals have in their routines. We move back over to rings with Anthony Copey on for the Huskers.
He missed his strength skills, but they were done nicely. Again, look at how tall he is. It's a beautiful handstand line. Moving on into the dismount here. Anthony Copey. And sticks the dismount, a double-double on the still rings. He's going crazy.
Yeah, very animated in the celebration there. Great job from Anthony Copey. Here's another look at it. Got up, was able to keep his feet together. Look at him, so excited there.
Izzy, I think he was yelling before he even touched the ground there. He knew he had it.
I think you're right, Zach. Moving on to floor there. Connolly for the Panthers, going for his side pass.
A beautiful double full. Here's that scale again. Some gymnasts don't like that they added that into the sport, but it is a requirement.
A lot harder than it looks, Zach.
It really is, especially this deep into a routine, to have that much balance, to be that sturdy, and to focus that hard. It is. I urge you guys to try it at home. Try it at home. See what you can do with that scale there. Balance on one leg. Try to get that back leg above horizontal. It's really difficult.
Yeah, you can do it right now. If you're in your living room, stand up and try it.
Yes, you should.
Luke Tully stepping up for the William and Mary tribe. again, such an exciting gymnast to watch, only a sophomore for them. So he's a bright future ahead with William and Mary.
Yeah, Luke has such a great attitude. Whenever you talk to him in person, he's always got a smile across his face, happy to be here, happy to talk with everyone, and just a nice person to be around. Starting off with a massive ginger there on the high bar. Moving in, jam handstand, perfect. It's a good eagle grip giant sequence.
13.55 for Anthony Kopi. He'll be happy with that.
Talk half, 2 handstand. This is a phenomenal routine, Luke. Good Tkachev. Moving on into the dismount here. And it was well done. A small step forward, but just a phenomenal routine. As I mentioned earlier, on high bar, there's something called angles, and all of his skills were done 2 handstands. So though he had that small step forward on the landing, it's going to score very well.
Yeah, great job from them. Good job, Luke Tully. He's psyched up for his teammates there over in green. Going back to their corral, you'll notice each visiting team has a flag up there. You'll see in the William & Mary Corral, they have a flag up. Moving on to Asher Cohen on the rings for Nebraska.
A very, very strong gymnast. They call him the big man, and I do too. Into the inverted cross there. Not a lot of people can do that. A good piked Yamawaki into the front giant. Asher Cohen moving well through this routine. And
Asher upgraded his routine actually from last week to this week, so just a little bit of a struggle there.
Falling a little bit out of that, muscles through it into the Nakayama to cross.
Good fight there from Asher Cohen.
The veteran doesn't get affected by small things like that. A good back giant. Let's see what he can do here to finish out this routine. We'll do a double-double dismount. Just a small step forward. The big man.
Way to fight through that for Asher Cohen. Obviously, you don't want to struggle with your skills, but when you can, how can you fight back? Little step forward there on that dismount, able to finish it out.
Yeah, truly just so much strength out of Asher, falling a little bit deep into that multi-style skill, but just powered through it.
Going to Jackson Clapper here for the Panthers on floor.
Beautiful back, 4.5, punch layout full. That is a triple Russian called a Fedorchenko. You'll see that on the pommel horse. Two and a half punch front layout, done nicely. Interesting technique there on the scale. I like the form. It adds a little bit of character, Izzy.
It does.
Moving on into the dismount. Let's see what he can do. A back double pike and a hop backwards. A great routine out of the Panther.
Yeah, he's happy about it. Way to finish on your feet. Take another look here at that dismount. Yeah, just a little bit too much power. Honestly, good problem to have. Able to get up. That pike. Nice job there from Jackson Clapper.
Yeah, men's gymnastics, you have to complete a double flipping skill as your dismount on the floor exercise. A lot of athletes are opting for that back double pike, which is a blind landing, very hard to stick. If you want to stick it, you need to break out early and really sacrifice your ankle health.
Absolutely. Code changes happen so often in this sport. It wasn't long ago where everyone was ending their floor with a triple twist dismount. So it's kind of interesting to see how the sport evolves every season.
Overall, Izzy, I would say that was a fairly good third rotation for all teams. A lot of great routines, some stuck dismounts, and really a lot to be proud of out of these athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just waiting to count Asher Cohen's score, but overall solid from everyone. I think now that we're almost at that halfway point in the meet, nerves are kind of getting down. They're getting better. In the first rotation, we saw so many falls, so looking great here for the meet. Rolling out here, going to the fourth rotation here in the Bob Devaney Sports Center. We'll see you here on Big Ten Plus. Welcome back inside John Cook Arena as we wrapped up the third rotation. Looking at some top scores from the past one. Zach, what do you see here?
Asher Cohen pulling in a massive 13.65 despite that small mistake in his Maltese element. Kenny Rabe on the parallel bars with the 12.6. Luke Tolley with that massive 13.45. I told you it was going to end up being a good score with all those good angles and well done routine. And Ethan Poole with a 13.5 on the floor. Just overall on all four of those events, great athletes and great performances as well.
Yeah, and Zach and I spoke during the break. It seems now that we're settling into the meet, a lot of those nerves have dissipated. I think athletes are feeling a little bit more comfortable. Their bodies are a bit warmer. You can expect to see a lot more of that as this meet continues, Zach.
Yeah, of course. It's really a sport based on momentum and team camaraderie. The scores as follows here. The Nebraska Cornhuskers leading the pack again, 158.7, led by Simpson, 152.15, Greenville University, 152.85, and then followed up by William and Mary, 149.8. It's still a good meet going on here, seeing Simpson and Greenville. Really close scores there, and Nebraska's leading the way.
Absolutely. I'd just like to add the biggest differential here is around 9 points. That's just 2 routines with massive errors. That could really go to anyone.
Yes.
Starting on floor here for William and Mary. Great job there from Weiner.
And something just happened in the crowd as they erupted there.
You see the stick flags waving. I think Ty Rodriguez for the Huskers just stuck a vault. So we see Weiner continue on the floor. Hopefully we'll see that later, but exciting for the Big Red fan base.
Moving through a good routine here on the floor exercise for the Tribe. A good starting 3 passes. Into his non-acrobatic element, the press handstand, needs to hold that for a firm 2 seconds. It's common practice to count to 3 to make sure you get full 2-second credit there.
Sometimes those are the longest seconds in the world, Zach.
Yes, they really are. See how the Tribe can finish up here on the floor exercise. Back double pike. Oh, just about stuck the landing. A phenomenal routine. He's hyped up, is he?
Yeah, nice job there from Weiner for William and Mary to open up for them on the floor. Able to put down that ending pass. Just another look at it.
Good form in the air on the back double pike. Legs glued together.
Nice.
I thought he had the stick, but just a small shuffle forward.
Yeah, here's another look at that vault. Ty Rodriguez, big block off the table.
Massive. Look how high he is, and just sticks the landing.
So excited for Ty Rodriguez. He sat this vault last week, so I know he's excited to get redemption. Nathan York stepping up next for the Huskers.
The senior. A great cause 2.5. Hops out of bounds, but it's done well. He'll incur a 3/10 neutral deduction along with that 3/10 hop, but it's a great vault for Nathan York.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's another look at that block. Able to get up, a little bit of feet in the air, but not bad.
You'll notice as he breaks out of that last half of the twist, he's looking backwards at the ground, trying to see where he is in the air, and that's how they're able to spot the landing is what they call it, and really go for that stick there.
Yeah, Zach, you threw quite a few 2.5s in your day when you competed on vault for the Huskers. What's the big thing to focus on with a vault like that?
You know, a 2.5 is very hard to stick. It's called a blind landing because you really can't see much. Again, going back to spotting the landing as best you can and really hoping to just put it on your feet. If the stick comes, it comes, and you hit a big one.
Exactly. You can't force the stick as much as you want it. It happens sometimes it doesn't, but when you do get it, it's described as one of the best feelings in the world.
I think it is. That was a great routine out of the Panther. The team is hyped up there after that pommel horse routine.
Yeah, great finish there from Esquivel Garza.
Anthony Coppy here on the vault. Again, just a massively tall gymnast. Let's see what he can put down. I believe he's going to compete cause 2.5. So again, with that blind landing, hoping to put it on his feet. Let's see if he can get that green flag stick.
Yeah, you can see these gymnasts visualize here. Sometimes you'll see them have little movements before they step up to an event. Talk about that visualization aspect, Zach.
Yeah, something I really learned from Coach Jim Hartung. It taught me how to visualize my routines before and during the competition. It really helps you to perform at the highest level and when there's so much pressure, like right now. 2.5, just a step backwards.
Very nice there from Kobe. Not typically in this vault lineup, so good for him to step up for the Huskers. Here's another look at his vault.
In good form throughout. He had not a lot of pre-flight deduction. It was perfectly legs glued together in the air and just a small step back. That's exactly what you're hoping for out of someone who's newer to the vault lineup, just putting it on his feet and then moving on to the next guy there.
Absolutely. Kosarakov stepping up to the floor for William and Mary as he waits. You'll see there those little numbers on the judges table. That is their start value, Zach. So they're capped at that in terms of their difficulty.
Yes, in men's gymnastics, they will compete a total of 8 skills, each worth a letter grade for the value of the skill. That will be added to the 10.0 starting execution score to give them their total execution and difficulty score called the start value, and then they will deduct from there.
Absolutely. If you're not familiar with men's, it is very different from women's collegiate scoring where they only do the 10.0 execution score. So you do have to add up that execution and difficulty score to get your total.
A 13-4 on vault for Anthony Coppi. Moving nicely through this routine for the Tribe, going into his scale. Needs to hold this for 2 seconds. And the dismount, back double pike, done very nicely for the Tribe.
Great job there. Way to finish strong there for William and Mary. High-fiving his teammates as he goes back to the corral. Good job. Chase Mondi here for the Huskers. Another big vaulter, 2.5.
Wow, look at the form throughout that 2.5. Not much in the pre-flight or in the air at all, just that small hop. A great vault for Chase Mondi.
Exactly, Zach. John Robinson described him as one of the cleanest vaulters on this Husker squad. Really, really minimal room for deductions there and everything but the landing.
Yeah, and capable of a triple full. Opted for that last season most of the year. This year starting with the 2.5, I think, to build confidence throughout the season. He actually had a knee injury, Izzy, a pretty bad fall in practice on the high bar and hyperextended his knee, so it's good to see him back out here on the floor.
Absolutely. Chase Mondi is one of those to watch out for on this event for Big Tens and NCAAs, hoping to All-American. He's just such a clean worker. And speaking of Big Tens, Nebraska is the host this year, their first time in 5 years. They haven't hosted since 2021. Zach, you were there, but not as an athlete, watching the Iowa program.
Yeah, so back in 2020, I actually tore my knee at the beginning of the season and was still able to travel with the team to the Pinnacle Bank Arena for the Big Ten Championships. So I'm very, very excited to have the Big Ten Championships here at home this year. I hope everyone is able to attend. It's going to be a phenomenal show of the best, and really just an incredible arena and atmosphere as well.
Absolutely. The last time it was hosted, there were still COVID protocols enacted. So, you know, fans were having to wear masks. They were having a social distance. It wasn't exactly as fun as it could be. So this year, really looking forward for that crazy atmosphere as they host Big Tens.
Yeah, make sure to tell your friends and family. Let's pack that arena for all the teams involved, including the famed Nebraska Cornhuskers at home.
Absolutely. Matthew Roth stepping up to horse for the Panthers.
Getting a good circle starting off so far. You see the hips extending nicely through that single pommel work. There's a deduction on the pommel horse where if you bend at the hips, you will incur deduction. So you want to see them fully stretched out, making it look
Oh, it's a bit of a struggle there on the dismount. Looking to the judges to see if they'll give credit or not.
It looks like he got dismount credit for that skill, but it'll be a lower start value because he didn't complete that turn in the dismount.
Yeah, another look here at his dismount, just trying to swing up, struggled a little bit there.
Needs to come off on the other side of the horse, so he will get a lower value for that dismount.
Just another look at that dismount there from Simpson.
Wow!
Wow, big dismount there from Smith in the storm. He's so psyched up for that.
Yeah, Izzy, it looked like he was dropping from the rafters on that double-double. Just a beautiful dismount and sticks the landing.
Yeah, Jake Smith will be pleased with that. Hopefully looking to put up a score in the mid-13s. Honestly, in high bar, it's one of those events we talked about is scored pretty rigorously. So if you're in those mid to 13s or higher, it's a pretty good sign.
That is a good score on the high bar. We're moving nicely through this rotation. We have a couple athletes remaining. Here we have Luke Tolley on the floor exercise. Trying to stay calm, collect himself, and really this is where that visualization would come into play. Thinking about how his routine, what he's gonna do, what he's gonna focus on. Maybe talking with Coach Bo there with William and Mary on some key tips what to do during this floor routine.
You'll see that score flash. It was a 13-2 there from Matthew Roth. What Zach talked about, you're just going to see a little bit of a lower score due to his failed execution there. Luke Tolley just taking a deep breath. We talked about how floor is an exhausting event, so you really want to pace yourself before you step up and compete. Just kind of take some time to compose, relax, and gear in for your routine.
And Luke will be the last athlete up in this rotation. There's a little bit of added pressure as all the teams are going to be tuning into the floor exercise to see how Luke can perform.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, like you mentioned, just a little bit of pressure on you. All eyes are on you. All 3 other teams are watching you, including your own. So, you know, you want to perform well. Salute here for Luke Tolley as he steps up for the tribe.
Looking to get a good start here on this floor routine. A double front done well. On the floor exercise, you need to have transitions into the corner that are all different from each other. That's a new rule in men's gymnastics. Front double full, punch front layout, small shuffle. He has great form in the air, Izzy. Double full, done nicely. You'll see that full turn to his stomach. You're able to do that instead of a non-acrobatic skill such as the scale.
Yeah, you'll notice a lot more athletes will opt into that. That was added this season. The scale, like we mentioned, it's more difficult than it looks, so some of them will opt for that twisting element.
Moving on into his next tumbling run here. A back 2.5, punch front layout full, sticks the landing, beautifully executed. Into his dismount here, Luke Tolley on the floor exercise. Back double pike, and just a good dismount out of Luke, a phenomenal floor routine for the tribe.
Yeah, tiny hop back on that dismount, but not bad. Look at him here, good pike in the air. Just trying to absorb as much of that, little bit bouncy on the floor. So that Simpson dismount took a big step forward, so that'll incur deduction, but stayed on his feet. Nice there.
And Luke Tolley competing in the all-around today, in lineup on 5 events, so looking to continue his run. Very exciting stuff.
Great job here in the 4th rotation. We'll head to the 5th right here back on Big Ten Plus. Welcome back into John Cook Arena, wrapping up the 4th rotation there. Looking at some top scores from the last one. Zach, what are you seeing here?
Yeah, Ty Rodriguez with that stuck vault with a 14.2. Jake Smith, high bar, 12.75, a commanding routine from him. Luke Tolley, 13.4 on the floor exercise and on the pommel horse with a 13.5. Overall, just a great rotation, some great routines there. The scoreboard is as follows. The Nebraska Cornhuskers taking a commanding lead at a 213.7, followed by Greenville University 205.4, and a tie, Simpson and William and Mary at a 202.5. It's a very close meet for some of these teams, and hope to see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Nebraska moving to P-Bars on this event, one of their stronger events, but they will be resting Nathan York today, who has been their biggest performer on this event. He had a massive 14.35 last week. So they're looking to look at to other spots in their talent, hopefully test some different lineups.
Yeah, the parallel ball lineup for the Cornhuskers is as follows. Grant Bowers will lead them off, followed by Jack Kritz, Max Auden, and Asher Cohen. Very excited to see Grant Bowers' routine. This will be his first time, I believe, competing for the Cornhuskers. Nicknamed Husker Power Bowers, as far as I know.
Absolutely. Opening up on the floor here for the Simpson. Nice job there on that pass.
Back double full, sticks the landing. That's an easier pass for most gymnasts on the floor. You're able to spot the landing well, and it's really something you train quite often.
Yeah, Campbell for the Storm looking to put up a bigger score. Does have a 12-2 high on this season, so wanting to improve and maybe hit that 13 mark for the Storm.
Back 2.5, just falls back there slightly. That's going to be likely a point. They may take 5/10. It depends on how much pressure on the hand the judges saw.
Nicely done skill, though.
Into his dismount. Double back,
nice.
Sticks the landing. A good way to end that routine, and coming back from that miss back 2.5. You know, he's not too stoked with that, but I'm happy to see that. That stuck dismount after a fall mid-routine.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, when you have a fall, it's difficult to come back, but when you can end it like that, at least end it on a good note personally, definitely helps you out.
And on the pommel horse, a good final dismount there. Here is Grant on the parallel bars, stays on his feet. Maybe not what he wanted, but that's all you can really ask for, is to stay on your feet, prevent that 1-point deduction.
Moving over to rings. Nice. Oh, I can't tell if he moved his left foot a little bit, but maybe they got a stick. We'll see what they want to give Cruz. Good dismount there for Greenville on rings.
Yeah, it is always a little bit hard to tell in slow motion. It is such a quick sport. You're able to spot more when it's slowed down, but honestly, in real time, Izzy, I think that was a stuck landing.
Yeah, I agree, Zach. Hopefully looking to put up a big score there for the Panthers. William and Mary still on horse. Jared Neumann will step up for the Tribe as he takes a deep breath before getting on and saluting the judges.
Izzy, that's a pretty outstanding mustache, if I do say so myself, out of the Tribe there.
I don't know if those watching home, if you remember, but my co-host here, Zach Tiedemann, has a pretty nice mustache coming in. Not something he was allowed to have when he was an active Husker.
Yeah, folks, I'm pretty proud of this mustache. Trimmed it up just for this, and happy to be here again.
Jack Kritz here for the Huskers on P-bars.
Oh, and just stops there after the Hanma. Needs to swing up to a handstand there. That's going to incur some major deductions. A good Stutz, though. Moving on into the front 1 1/4 to his upper arms. That is a very challenging skill and really hurts your arms, Izzy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's nice.
A good to pelt from one side of the bars to the middle. And the dismount for Jack Kritz. It's done well.
Yeah, way to finish there. He did struggle a little bit there in the middle of his routine. Able to fight through and finish for the Huskers. It's another look at that dismount.
Good form in the air, Izzy.
Yeah.
Back to the pommel horse. Oh, and just hits the pommel on his way into that flare skill and just falls off, but looks like he finished up with a good dismount there.
Yeah, disappointing, obviously, to fall on horse. Once you fall, you know, it's really hard to get out of it. Able to finish strong for them, exactly what they want. And going into those flare skills, that's a very difficult skill to have on the horse. We saw Caden Clinton do it last weekend. He did it very well, but, you know, it's not an easy thing to go up on that horse and perform those. It's a replay, ring dismount from Greenville.
Ricky Mays. A great dismount, a very tall gymnast, really executed nicely.
Yeah, and he's been in a couple of NCAA finals as an individual. Greenville really wanting to make that team appearance, but it is tough. Only 6 teams qualify to finals on day 2 in NCs, and you know, it's competitive.
Back double pike.
Nice.
Oh, just about a stuck landing. We'll see if they raise the green flag, and they do. A stuck landing for the Simpson Storm on the floor exercise.
Great job from Garrett Alexander there. Able to put his feet down and have that landing that he wanted. And there is a mat there that is allowed. That's not a deduction if you have a mat there for your landing, if you'd like to soften it. Great job there. Able to control his landing.
Here we have Max Auden, the junior captain for the Nebraska Cornhuskers on the parallel bars. That's a beautiful skill called the Peters into the Diamondov. He's got such a beautiful line. Folks back home, when I say line, I'm mentioning his handstand line. You want to see that fully extended, and it's a great dismount.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, Zach, he is a captain. You had the honor to be a captain with your time here in the Huskers. How has he grown into his leadership from what you've seen?
You know, I had the fortunate opportunity to see Max come up throughout the rankings. Started as a freshman here at Nebraska, a little bit on the quiet side, but really has upped his leadership ability and is leading these Cornhuskers to a phenomenal season so far.
Yeah, Ethan Poole here for the Panthers on rings, coming out of his yongs.
A little bit of swing there. He needs to put down the dismount, and he does!
Yeah, double A dismount there for Ethan. Nicely done.
On the still rings, you don't want to see too much swinging of the cables. They do call it the still rings for a reason, so that will pick up some deduction, but he timed it nicely into that dismount, able to stick that landing.
So look back at Luke Tully on the horse. Just caught the horse there and swung off. Doesn't seem to be the day for the tribe on this event.
And pommel horse is just such a tough event. The smallest mistake will have you spinning off out of control.
12-2 there for Jared Neumann.
Again, you have 30 seconds to mount the apparatus after a fall. That 30 seconds comes up very, very fast and doesn't give you a lot of time to think about the remaining portion of the routine. That's where training really comes in handy.
Yeah, just a little bit of disappointment there. You can see from Luke Tully, not how he wanted to close out the routine, but got the finish there. Moving over to rings, moving over to P-bars, Asher Cohen, another phenomenal P-bar worker for the Huskers.
Beautiful front 1 1/4 out of Asher Cohen, the big man on the parallel bars. Into the Bovzar from one side of the parallel bars to another, beautifully executed.
Just swam over those bars.
That's actually a correction we use in men's gymnastics on that skill, is to swim. Really, you need to work through the portion of the bars, and a good Hanma out of Asher. He's moving nicely through this routine. Peach to L-sit, needs to hold this for 2 seconds. He's thinking right now about his dismount. That's an easy press handstand for Asher, being so strong on the still rings. The dismount, a double front. And it looks like he stuck the dismount to me. You see the green flags. The Cornhuskers are fired up for that routine.
Great job there from Asher Cohen as he waves to the crowd.
He says, hey, big man, how's it going?
A little nod to Zach Tiedemann. Yeah, great dismount there from Asher Cohen. When you see the green flags waving, he says, hi, big man.
Oh, that's so good to see. What an amazing person and an even better athlete.
Here's that dismount there from Simpson on floor.
Oh, it just about stuck the landing there.
Held onto it, not bad there from Smith. Yeah, you have a great relationship with Asher Cohen. We already talked about it a little bit, but you call him big man, he calls you big man. It's great to see him out there.
Yeah, Asher just a natural leader and really a big competitor for the Cornhuskers on the rings and the parallel bars.
Absolutely. Back on horse from William Mary, hoping to perform better than they have. Zabrowski here.
Getting through his single pommel work and just touches the horse and it stops his momentum, causing a fall. He'll have 30 seconds to get back up on the horse. You see him talking with his coach there, maybe asking, should I repeat that skill or not?
Yeah, pommel horse, this is William & Mary's weakest event. They're 15th in the nation on this event, so obviously looking to improve here, and it's showing for the tribe. Hopefully it's something they can clean up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's still early on in the season, so they have a lot of time to go back to the drawing board, rethink some of these routines and skills, and really find a way to stay on that pommel horse.
Absolutely.
You see him step up here into the dismount, just a little bit of a press, but gets through and finishes up a good routine.
Yeah, good finish there from Zabrowski. Making our way through here in the 5th rotation. Still a couple more routines left to go. There's another look at the replay there on his dismount. Struggled a little, but got it around.
Again, on that pommel horse dismount, you want to see them fly up to that handstand with no hesitation. He just had a little bit of a strength hesitation there in that dismount. That'll incur deduction as well as that bent leg, but really not much else you can ask for other than just getting up to the handstand and finishing out that pommel routine.
Braxton Jones will step up to the floor for Simpson. Now, Braxton Jones has mainly been known for his vaulting abilities with the Storm. And Zach, you know, vault and floor tend to go hand in hand with these athletes. So if you're good at one, typically you're good at the other. Hoping to see a big score put up from Jones right now.
Starting off here, front full, punch double front, sticks the landing. What an opening pass for the Storm. Into a Arabian half out, sticks the landing again. This is a great floor routine so far.
Nicely done. Side pass.
Another stuck landing. This is a great floor routine in men's gymnastics. If you stick every single pass on the floor exercise, we call it the golden sombrero. Let's see if he can do it here today. Back home, my club coach, Seth Smart, actually calls it the purple cobra when you stick all passes on the floor exercise, a little callback to the movie Dodgeball.
Here we go. Let's pass.
Back 2.5, punch front layout.
Oh!
I think that's a stick.
I think
it's
so
close.
too, Zach. He barely shuffled that heel, but he didn't lift it off the floor.
The double back. Oh!
He's so hyped up. Great routine there from Braxton Jones. Stuck almost every pass but that dismount, but overall great job there from the Storm.
Yeah, just really dialed in the landings there. That should score so well for him.
Going over to rings. Dismount there. Little step back, nice job. Welcome back inside John Cook Arena as we gear up for the final rotation on high bar. Here's some of those top performers from the last rotation. Asher Cohen putting up a 13-8 on P's. Great job. Braxton Jones going 13-3. Jared Neumann going 12-2, a little south of where they want to be. And Sergey Popov going 13 flat in that last rotation. A little bit of a shakeup in the team score, Zach. What do you see there up on the big screen?
Yeah, the Nebraska Cornhuskers taking a commanding lead going into this 6th and final rotation at a 265.7, followed behind with Greenville College at 256.05, and then Simpson 253.05, and William & Mary at a 248.4. I'm hoping to see if Nebraska is going to carry on with this lead in the competition, and then it's going to be a close battle for 2nd and 3rd. We'll see how this plays out.
Definitely. As Nebraska moves on to high bar, we talked about it being a party. High bar's kind of your bread and butter. You're an All-American on this event. You've been the national runner-up on this event. Talk to me about high bar.
High bar is a very, very nerve-wracking event. There's a lot of opportunities to make a mistake. You do high-flying releases with just a little bit of ability to catch that bar, and if you don't, you're coming off, and you're coming off hard. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's not very forgiving. It's a steel bar. It's different from the women's high bar and uneven bars. A lot of people think they're the same, but it's not. Zach, you talked to Alex Natachi off the Huskers. He had a little bit of a scary fall the other day in practice. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I was talking to Alex, and he showed me a video of him training here in the John Cook Arena and actually broke his grip at the bottom of the skill. We'll talk about that in a second. Ricky Mays here on the vault with a beautiful cause, 2.5, a small hop forward.
Great job. Great job there from Ricky.
But yeah, Alex coming off at the bottom of the bar with a broken grip. I'm surprised he didn't injure himself. He'll actually be using a new pair of grips handcrafted by the famed Francis Allen, so we'll see how those hold up today.
Definitely. You can see Shory there closing out his routine for Simpson on the horse. But yeah, I mean, ripping is a horrifying feeling, especially when you're moving as quickly as you are on an event like high bar. Not only that, you're getting used to new grips. You like to be comfortable with your grips. He's probably only been on it a couple times since he got them. But yeah, Anthony Kobe will open for the Huskers on high bar.
A great Zuliman to start this routine into the Takamoto half, done nicely. He'll do a massive laid out Tkachev, just beautifully executed. Winding up for what's called a Coleman, a double flip over the bar with a full twist and comes off. Oh goodness.
Yeah, just miss it. His hands were there, but just didn't have them tight enough around the bar. Right here, you can kind of see where it happened. And it's difficult as a taller gymnast. You know from experience, Zach, sometimes it's just a lot of power all at once.
Yeah, it looked like he just overreached on the bar there and didn't get a good hold of it. Here
Michael Avery on vault for the Panthers.
A beautiful Yuchenko double twist.
So done. Moving on to rings for William and Mary. This will be Jonathan Irwin.
So far, a great ring routine with the iron cross and then that Maltese strength move. Moving on into his swinging elements. Needs to hold on to that handstand and fixes it. Lowers down into that iron cross. Just a beautiful skill on the still rings in men's gymnastics. Opts for a bit of an easier dismount, the tuck full in, but he sticks it cold and he is hyped up. Oh, and the heart for the fans. Just a beautiful ring routine out of the boy.
A little bit of love on Valentine's Day. Here's another look at that dismount. Great job there, able to find his feet and put it down for the tribe.
Oh, that's a great celebration, Izzy.
Absolutely. Nick Tarka will step up next for the Huskers on high bar as he chalks up. Again, one of those true freshmen. He's out of Tennessee as well.
Has a fairly difficult routine on the high bar. Excited to see what he has in store. And just a fall back there from Jackson Clapper on the vault. A good 2.5, just didn't get enough power into that and sat down, sadly.
Yeah. Talking over with head coach Chuck Chamelka, who has been here for quite a long time. Been leading the front since 2009. We spoke with him before this meet. He took over from the legendary Francis Allen, as we mentioned before. He's been leading the program ever since, and they won their first conference championship in 2024 since joining the Big Ten.
Take this time here to give a tribute to the famed Jim Hartung, a Nebraska assistant coach, Olympian, really one of the best athletes in gymnastics to ever do it. A phenomenal human being. He tragically passed away not too long ago. It deeply saddens me to say that. I had the pleasure of being coached by Jim Hartung. He had so much for me, and I attribute most of my success to that man.
Absolutely. Here's Nick Tarka for the Huskers.
Oh, and just great technique there going into the Zuliman straight away. Takamoto half, a little bit past handstand. Winding up for the Coleman and catches it.
Nice.
And again, winding up the Kovacs, catches again.
Great distance from the bar there.
Oh,
Ooh.
and just saves that stalder there. Almost went the wrong direction for the dismount. Nick Tarka. And sixta landing for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. He is hyped up.
Wave that flag, Husker Nation. He got the stick. So exciting for Nick Tarka. Look at him. He's so psyched to be with his teammates there.
That is how you start a high bar party with just 2 athletes to go on the high bar. They are going to be in it.
So good. Look at this dismount.
With
Just
authority,
found it.
Izzy.
Great job there from Nick Tarka. There's another look at the dismount there from Simpson on horse. Got the finish there. He's psyched about it.
On the vault. A 2.5. Oh, and just about sticks the landing. What a beautiful vault there for the Panthers.
Yeah, very nice there from Watterson. Can hear the Go Big Reds here in John Cook Arena echoing. Great job getting the crowd involved. So fun for this Husker squad.
On vault. An easier vault, but it's done well. A great landing, good form in the air. He should be hyped up for that.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see gymnasts maybe opt for not as high of a difficulty, but if they know they can hit it clean, it's way worth it than, you know, trying to throw a vault that you're not used to and maybe risking a fall. Great job there from Hinson.
And we talk a lot about how hard those vault mats really are. They look soft. It looks like it's not going to hurt that bad, but every one of those landings hurts the ankles. It hurts the knees.
They're not soft, Zach. They hurt. I am not an athlete, but I've had many friends, family members that have competed in this sport, and all I hear from them is how hard vault mats are. You can speak from personal experience.
Oh, yes, I can. I have... You get a little bit of a shock to the body when you land a vault in an arena such as this. A little bit of swing here on the rings. Needs to time that bail. Done nicely into that front giant. Again, for the back giant, a good handstand line. Wants to see that turned out hands on the rings. For the dismount, a tuck full in. Just a hop and a step backwards. A little bit excited maybe, Izzy, but it's a good dismount and a great routine.
Yeah, great job. Way to fight for it. You'll see in his dismount here, he was able, like, really fighting to keep that chest up, which is good. That's what you want to see. Had a couple steps, but not bad. Moving back over to horse for the Simpson Storm. Good job staying on, moving across. Oof, just takes a bit of a fall there from Bacchus for Simpson. He's gonna take his 30 and chalk up again and try to finish this routine. Here's another look at it. You can see he just crunched there a little, Zach.
Alex Natashi with a massive, massive triple backflip to end his high bar routine. It looks like the grips did not snap this time, so big ups to Francis Allen for handcrafting those grips.
Yeah, I bet you Francis is going over to Alex and telling him you're welcome for that.
Yeah, I bet you so. Oh, it just gets up to the dismount. Oh, goodness. I believe he'll get credit for that, but a lot of deduction there.
Yeah, just struggled to swing up to that dismount. Took a bunch of steps off. Bit of a rougher ending there for the Storm on horse. There's Alex Natachi, happy with his routine. Great job from him.
Yeah, a very big competitor on the high bar, opting for some massive releases.
There's that Jim Hardtung patch on their Leo. Zach, you spoke briefly about the impact of Coach Hardtung here. Obviously, he was not only an amazing coach, but a legendary athlete for Nebraska. It's something really neat to have Nebraska have those special patches a part of their uniforms and just pay a small tribute to Jim.
Yeah, really leaving a lasting legacy. I'm not sure there's a single person in this crowd who hasn't heard the name Jim Hardtung, and they will continue to hear his name.
Back on rings for the Tribe.
Tuck Yamawaki. Fighting for that handstand, needs to stay up there. Again, stay strong. Just the dismount. Beautifully executed.
Nicely done there from William and Mary's Weiner. Way to put it down. Here's another look at his dismount. Good form in the air. Good job on that dismount.
On to Max Auden here on the high bar. Just completed 2 massive, massive releases. Perfectly executed into the straddle to Tkachev here. Max, truly one of the best high bar workers in the nation. I believe firmly that he has the ability to compete in the NCAAs and possibly win it as he sticks the dismount. What a routine.
Oh my gosh, Max Auden, audience of the crowd, watch this dismount, just gets so high up. Look at his form in the air and nails the landing.
Max Auden, a serious contender for a Big Ten championship medal and an NCAA championship. So we will see as he moves on through this season, but really, in my opinion, one of the best high bar workers out there.
Just really shows his leadership. Obviously, Zach, you have a lot of admiration for him as a high bar worker yourself, but he's really come into himself. Look at him point up there. Great job from Max Auden.
Max pointing up here. What's so good to see. Just a tremendous athlete. Really prides himself in the execution on the high bar, and just incredible to see him perform at this level.
They call him Big Red for a reason. Just put up such a big performance on high bar. Yeah, like Zach mentioned, someone you'll want to watch out for, not only in the Big Ten stage, but the national stage as well, hoping to vie for another All-American honor.
Yeah, without seeing the score there, Izzy, I am pretty sure Max will bring home the high bar title tonight. What a beautiful, beautiful routine. 3rd
in the nation, by the way, as just a junior. 13.783 average on that event.
Yes, and a captain for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Zabrowski for William and Mary on the rings.
Beautiful Hanma to cross, held for a firm 2 seconds. Into the Yamawaki. It's a good start to this ring routine. Press handstand, a slight arm bend, but done well. Good front giant, really timed the swing there with the cables. Again with the back giant, perfectly executed. Can he put down this dismount for the tribe? Double. Oh, and just a little bit short on that landing there. It was a great routine leading up to that.
Yeah, really solid up until that unfortunate dismount, but put up a lot of big skills. Here's another look at this, Zach.
Oh, and just looked like he broke out a little bit early there, but I'm sure he's going to go back in the gym and fix that and come at it with the next routine.
You just heard the Huskers share a massive 14.25 given to Max Auden. I believe that is a career high for him. That's an absolutely insane score.
That is a massive score and well-deserved from Max. That was a beautiful routine.
Wow, what a way to close out for the Huskers. They'll finish with a 3:19.55. That'll top their season high of 3:18.6. Great showing for Big Red today in John Cook Arena.
And Izzy, I believe all the scores might be in, so the Nebraska Cornhuskers bringing home the title at a 3:19.55, a massive score. Next with Simpson, or pardon me, the Panthers at a 3:09.3 for second place, followed by Simpson College with a 298.95, and finally William and Mary 284.15. Just a great day today on Valentine's Day.
Absolutely. I do believe William and Mary's still waiting to count that last score for them on rings, but we'll see them come in. It really shouldn't impact the event, the end of this meet, but great job from all 4 teams. You know, Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska just really showing out today. If you're in those top 3 teams, you know, those 315 or higher, you're looking at performing well at finals. Here's the top performers here from Nebraska. A lot of different names, which is great. You want to see diversity here. Look at Max Auden, 14.25 for the Huskers.
Wow, what a beautiful score, and all big red, and the top performers all bringing home individual titles. Alex Natashi on the floor exercise with a massive 13.85. Nathan York on the pommel horse, 14.0. Asher Cohen, even with that small mistake during his strength move, still brings home the title, 13.65. Ty Rodriguez, the freshman, a 14.2, brings home a title. Asher Cohen again bringing home the second title of the night on parallel bars, 13.8. And again, Max Auden with one of the best high bar routines I've seen him do, 14.25. Just an amazing performance out of these athletes. The Nebraska Cornhuskers doing a phenomenal job, but also the other teams, Simpson, William and Mary, and Greenville, all did a phenomenal job, still working through their season, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in their championships meets and the NCAA championships itself.
Absolutely, Zach. Here are those top two scores finalized. So Greenville coming in at second at 309.4. Great job from them. This is awesome for Greenville. They've really been trying to crack that top 10 all year over the last 2 seasons, and they're a new program, Zach. So this is right the direction they want to head.
Yeah, head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, assistant coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, John Robinson, the president of the CGA for gymnastics. He has been a major component of bringing on these new programs such as Greenville and Simpson, and really has contributed to providing opportunities for new gymnasts. It's so good to see that with a sport that is not very big, only I believe 15 teams in total across the country. To have 2 new programs starting up and performing at this level is just amazing to see.
Absolutely, so happy for Greenville breaking that 306 that they scored last week. They're in the 309, so they're just close to that 310 mark, which is, I'm sure, their next goal. Very great meet for them, and a fantastic meet for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They broke their season high, claimed all 6 event titles. Coach Chuck Tremelka and John Robinson will be very happy with the end result of this meet.
As we wrap up this Big Ten Plus stream, I want to thank everyone for allowing me this opportunity to be up here with my co-host, Izzy Pineda. It's just been an absolute blast up here. What a performance out of all of these athletes today. I really look forward to what they have in store for us for the rest of the season, including that Big Ten championship meet here in the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Nebraska. Stay tuned for that and try to attend if you can.
Yeah, it's been such a delight to have you on. Like I said, thank you to my co-host, Zach Tiedemann. Thank you to Husker Vision and Big Ten Plus for putting on this production. Good afternoon from Lincoln, Nebraska.